tempted like as we are, yet without sin. Let us therefore come boldly unto the throne of grace, that we may obtain mercy and find grace to help in time of need.
That's a good scripture right there, right? In a time of need. And we are in a time of need, man. We need to get the hell out of here. That's what we need, all right? But anyway, I want to go from there to the book of James, the 5th chapter. And by the way, this is one of my favorite chapters. You know, I hit it every once in a while, but there's a lot of meat in this chapter right here. And this is dealing with Esau and the fact that he's going down. And you can see that this man's going down. Because what's going on is China is buying dollars from the U.S. or the Feds, and what the Feds do is they'll get the dollars. The U.S. the Federal Reserve notes
weakness. Think again.
At a certain value,
for short-term,
right, on the world market.
Currency,
but then what the Fed does is they print more money, so they devalue the dollar. So that dollar that they invested, the Chinese invested in,
that would not be
they're finding out that that dollar is losing its value. So they're not thinking very kindly about the U.S. because the Federal Reserve goes hand in hand with the U.S. Even though the Federal Reserve is a privately owned, quasi-governmental organization or corporation, it's still tied with the U.S. because in the U.S. you use these dollars. They call them U.S. dollars, but they're really Federal Reserve notes. Right? So the Chinese, they're mad as hell. And these other nations that work with this dollar, they're mad as hell. And they're basically saying we don't trust the U.S. dollar no more or the Federal Reserve note. So we're in that time now. We're in the time of James, the 5th chapter. So let's read that from the top.
James chapter 5, verse 1. Go to now, ye rich men.
Right, the rich is talking about guys like... Rothschilds first and foremost, the Rothschild family, and then you have the Rockefellers. You have many different rich, super rich. Like you had the DuPonts. I don't know if they're still considered super rich. You don't hear about them too much, but the main super rich families of the earth are the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers. Then you have in the United States, you have what's this guy? You got Gates, Bill Gates. You got Warren Buffett. All right. You have these Fortune 500 companies. You have these investment firms, these banks. If you go down to if you go up Avenue of the Americas, which is going uptown one way, and as soon as you pass the 42nd Street. You're going to see on your left-hand side, a few years back, you had what was called a depth clock, but they took it down. You know what they put over there? They put, I forget what bank, but they put a major bank. I think it's a Bank of America, if I'm not mistaken. And then as you go down, and this bank looks like a crystal palace, man. And then when you go down to the next building, there's another bank. Then there's another bank. These major international banks. So those represent the super rich. You have your stockholders, you have your CEOs, you have your hidden bank owners. So those are the super rich. And they don't like to put their name out there, man. Like the Rothschilds. They don't make a big deal. They don't flaunt their riches. They don't say, well, wait a minute. What's his name that I mentioned? Warren Buffett. Oh, no, he's not. They're going around saying no, I'm the richest. The super rich do not go around talking about how rich they are. And the super rich are worth, there's trillionaires out there. You think, oh, no, the highest you can go is billionaire. 50 billion, 60 billion. You can't go no higher than that. There's trillionaires, and the Rothschilds would be considered trillionaires. The Rockefellers would be considered most likely trillionaires. Brown's brothers Harriman. We speak right across the street from Brown's brothers Harriman, man. And then you got guys out there saying that we sold out because anytime you see GMS, they're always in front of a bank. Well, that just happens to so be. It's just a spiritual thing. We don't go there looking for a bank. It just happens that way. But we're speaking in front of the place that's going to be brought down. These damn banks. We got the real riches. Go ahead.
It says, "Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you."
Right. So the Rothschilds, miseries are going to come on them. Matter of fact, give me Psalms 149 and start from the very top. We normally start from the 5th verse. These super rich, they're not going to be destroyed. We know that the United States, Babylon is going to be destroyed in this thermonuclear war, that's Third World War that's going to take place, but they're not going to be destroyed. Now there's a video that prophet seer, what's his name? The prophet seer, prophetic seer, he put up. And he put it up a couple of days ago, and he got information that the super rich or people that are worth, a couple of $1 billion, that they're leaving the country. They're leaving the United States till this thing blows over. So they know that something's going. The average Joe doesn't know what the hell's going on. You see what's happening over there in France? Well, they're rioting over there in France. And you think that's not going to come over here? They're going to squeeze the people over here in this country to the point where they're going to riot in the streets. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, this is Psalms chapter 149, verse 1. "Praise ye the Lord, sing unto the Lord a new song, and his praise in the congregation of saints. Let Israel rejoice in him that made him. Let the children of Zion be joyful in their king. Let them praise his name in the dance. Let them sing praises unto him with the timbrel and harp. For the Lord taketh pleasure in his people. He will beautify the meek with salvation. Let the saints be..."
Right, the meek is referring to Israelites, not Edomites, not any other nation, but Israelites. Go ahead.
It says, "Let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing aloud upon their beds. Let the high praises of the Most High be in their mouth, and a two-edged sword in their hand, to execute vengeance upon the heathen."
Yeah, the heathens in this case is talking about the other nations. Go ahead.
"And punishments upon the people, to bind their kings with chains."
You notice it said to bind their kings with chains, because the people over here in this continent, which we call Babylon the Great, they're not going to be here. We ain't going to bind nobody over here in Babylon because they're going to be destroyed. Go ahead.
"And their nobles with fetters of iron, to execute upon them the judgment written. This honor have all his saints, praise ye the Lord."
Right. Kings and nobles are known for their what? Their riches and the fact that they're sitting on a power seat. So it said we're going to shackle them up and we're going to beat them down. We're going to use that sword, that we're going to have the word in one hand and the sword in the other hand, and we're going to pronounce judgment against you, and then we're going to execute judgment on you. Okay? Now let's go back to James. Go ahead.
James chapter 5, verse 1. "Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth-eaten. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you."
Read that again from the top.
It says, "Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth-eaten. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you."
Now, give me the blue letter and go to James. I don't know if you got it in James 1. No, you can start it. What does it say in verse 2? Right, now click on your riches.
In James 5 and 2, it says your riches are corrupted. I'm going to click on riches. And the word there in the Greek is plutos, which means riches, wealth, abundance of external possessions, fullness, abundance, plenitude, that which one is enriched.
Now, when you click up on the tab here where it says Plutos, That's Plutos right there. Read up on it.
Okay, now this is a web page called Plutos.
Can I say something?
Yep.
Now, the word there for riches in the second chapter of James, James the fifth chapter, in the second verse, the word there for riches, the Greek word there is Plutos, right? And it said Plutos means one with a lot of money, a lot of wealth and all that, but it goes deeper than that. That's why when you go down to Manhattan, Midtown Manhattan, Park Avenue, these different sites in the city, in Manhattan, and around the country, you'll see right next to Rockefeller Center. Rockefellers, the Rockefellers, they have a Rockefeller Center. If you go down to Rockefeller Center, I believe you'll see Thor with lightning bolts in his hand. There's like a picture, not a picture, a wall carving of Thor. Then there's a building right next to it on, I believe it's Fifth Avenue, right across the street from the Roman Catholic Church. And you have Atlas, and he has the globe on his back. There was a book written by, what was her name? Ian Ryan, I believe her name is Anne Ryan. Yeah, I'm saying it wrong. Anne Ryan, which supposedly was a mistress of one of the Rothschilds, and she wrote a book called Atlas Shrugged. So that's showing you that they are tied into the Greek philosophies or the Greek mythology. Now the word Atlas Shrugged for the name of the book means if you have a heavy weight on you, a box, and it's a burden on one side of your shoulder, you shrug it, you move it to get a better positioning. So when you move that box or that heavy object, you're basically changing the way the box sit. So that image of Atlas, or in the book Atlas Shrugged, when he shrugged his shoulder, what happened? The world changed. New world order. That's what it was all about. But anyway, if you ever take a tour down to the Rockefeller Center, you'll see these images of these different gods and goddesses going back to the Romans, going back to the Greeks. Oh, the skating arena. You have a big, overgrown, naked faggot laying down butt-ass naked. I think he has a towel on. Maybe he doesn't. I forget. I haven't been down there in a while. And he's sitting sideways like a flaming homo, and he has a torch in his hand with a fire, and it's gold. It's a gold statue. Now that person right there, that flaming Mo, is a man by the name of Prometheus. All right? And what Prometheus did was he was known for stealing fire from the Most High, stealing fire from the gods, in this case Zeus. And Zeus, by the way, is a black man, okay? Zeus is at the Vatican City sitting down as a black man that they're saying that's Peter. That's not Peter, that's Zeus. And you can see that he's a black man with woolly hair and a woolly beard. All right? Now, supposedly, Prometheus stole fire from the gods for the service of man. So who has the fire? The elite. That's why when you go to Isaiah, the 14th chapter, and we've been through that many times, it tells you, it refers to them as Lucifer. Why are they known as Lucifer? Because they have the beacon of light. So you just can't become rich. You just can't work hard and become a multi-billionaire and not bow down to these gods or to these demons or to these wicked spirits on the left-hand side. So these jakes like Comfy and them that sold out, they couldn't just say, well, give me the money and I'm not going to teach the truth no more. They had to bow down to them demonic gods. All right? Go ahead.
Yeah, back in the webpage Plutos, it says Plutos or Plutus was the god of wealth in Agrian Greece. He was at first associated purely with bounty of rich harvest. Later he came to represent